I was like you once, angry, lost. I watched the person I loved die in front of me, and I snapped. But I didn't destroy the world. I tried to remake it, gently, painlessly.
You ran from the truth, built a dream, and buried the dead inside it. That wasn't peace. It was denial wrapped in pretty light.
And what you did was truth. You crushed cities, killed children, slaughtered innocents. You called it freedom, but all you wanted was control.
I never lied about what I was. You became a shadow of another man, a puppet with a mask. You didn't seek peace. You wanted a world where you never had to grieve again.
And you wanted a world where no one could stop you. That's not freedom, Eren. That's fear wearing your face.
I saw the future, every outcome, every version of me, and still, I walked forward.
And in every version, you're a butcher. You let Mikasa put a blade through your throat just to pretend you were noble at the end.
You gave up when the world hurt you. I carried that hurt until the world bled with me. You feared pain. I became it.
Then maybe we're not so different after all, except I woke up.
Then why do I still see guilt in your eyes? Talk like a god, but you're just a coward with a notebook. Real power isn't writing names. It's standing in the fire and not flinching.
And real justice isn't slaughtering innocents for the sake of your freedom. You gave the world fear. I gave it order.
You gave it silence, obedience. I fought for a future without cages, even if I had to burn the map to build it.
You didn't burn a map. You burned people. You became the monster you hated and called it progress.
Then let me be the monster, as long as my people are free. You think I wanted this? I cried the day I found out it was me behind the wall.
And when your freedom costs 80% of humanity, what exactly are you freeing? And unlike you, I didn't have to be stopped by my own friends. I outsmarted gods.
Not for long.
Power, and you chose fear. You could have built something, Eren. Instead, you turned your back on everything that makes peace possible.
And you still believe peace is built on forgiveness, on talking to people who've already decided they want you dead. That's not hope. That's delusion.
Better delusion than genocide? You erased the world just to stop it from disagreeing with you? That's not freedom. That's domination with a prettier name.
And your so-called peace, built on begging your enemies to behave, you call it strength. I see a man waiting to be stabbed again, just so he can say he understands.
I understand pain. That's why I don't pass it down. You call me weak, but I've seen real strength. It's the kind that breaks cycles, not bones.
Cycles don't break. You just slowed the wheel and smiled. I shattered it. You protect ideals. I protected people.
You didn't protect them. You silenced the world so you wouldn't have to compromise. That's not a savior. That's a tyrant afraid of being told no.
No one else had the spine to do what had to be done. You keep calling it tyranny because it makes you feel noble. But I chose certainty. You chose the comfort of maybes.
At least my maybes leave room for humanity. Your certainty turned you into the kind of monster we were both supposed to fight.
Then maybe monsters are what this world needs. Not speeches, not handshakes, just one man willing to end it all.
You didn't end it. You just gave someone else a reason to pick up the pieces and start again with more hate. You replaced fear with fear and called it peace.
And you replaced action with faith and called it strength. Tell me, how many people died while you were still hoping they'd listen?
Enough to know this. I'll keep choosing hope, even if it breaks me, because believing in change, even when it's slow, is better than burning everything because you ran out of patience.
Then keep believing. But if the world keeps making monsters, maybe we've been trying to save the wrong thing. You speak of peace, but all I see is a coward who slaughtered his own blood just to serve a system that oppressed him. That's not peace. That's slavery dressed in virtue.
And you claim freedom, but all you've created is genocide disguised as liberation. You're not a savior, Eren. You're a child throwing a tantrum, willing to burn the world because you couldn't bear to lose.
At least I chose to act. You spent your life kneeling to men who feared change. You murdered your family because a council told you to. You don't value peace. You feared chaos.
And you? You fear control, so you chose chaos. You'd rather everyone die than live under rules. That's not bravery. That's narcissism. You think you're a god rewriting the world.
Better a god with bloody hands than a ghost who died for nothing. Your peace was an illusion, Itachi. You delayed suffering. You didn't stop it. At least my path ends the cycle.
There is no freedom in a graveyard, Eren. If your solution is extinction, then you never wanted freedom. You just wanted to destroy what you couldn't understand.
And you never wanted peace. You wanted control. You killed your clan and called it love. You're not a hero. You're just a glorified pawn who died with a smile.
Death for half my life and found nothing but emptiness.
I chased freedom and found out it doesn't exist.
So you destroyed the world to feel free?
No, I destroyed it so no one else would have to live like we did.
And how many children had to die for that dream?
As many as it took. The world chose this. I just answered.
There's no justice in revenge, only more graves.
There's no justice in submission either. You'd rather kneel than fight back.
No, I'd rather break the cycle than become another link in the chain.
Then, I guess, we were never free. Just born on opposite sides of the same...
Speak of freedom, but what you truly crave is revenge. You burn the world not to liberate it, but to punish it for wounding you. That isn't justice, Eren. That's ego draped in ideology.
And you covered fear with vision. You couldn't change reality, so you rewrote it, forced it into submission. That's not peace, Madara. That's surrender on a planetary scale.
Humanity is inherently flawed. Left alone, they devour each other. I offered them salvation from themselves. You tore down the walls, only to become another one.
At least I didn't sell them a lie. You manipulated the world into silence because you lacked the strength to let it scream. You didn't lead. You caged.
And you unleashed chaos with no plan beyond destruction. You mistake bloodshed for clarity, genocide for evolution. In your quest to be free, you became a force no different than those you swore to destroy.
Maybe, but at least I moved. You froze the world in a dream because you couldn't stomach its imperfection. You didn't fix anything. You paused the pain and called yourself a god for it.
Then let the world rot in your idea of freedom. But understand this. History will not remember you as a savior. Only as a symptom. A violent spasm in the body of a dying era.
And you call me blind, but you still dream of peace through domination. You're just another tyrant in love with control. I'll end the world before I ever kneel to